that we spoke about this morning is made pursuant to a certain law. So, Mr. Speaker, yes, indeed, we are not happy about military overthrow. There are excesses even in our democracy. And one would have thought that in this day and age, military interventions will be things of the past. But, Mr. Speaker, we still have, coupists, taking the reins of power in Niger. We have in coupists who are still in our midst, even up to today, and not give them room to operate. We don't have to give them the kind of recognition that we are giving them now, unless, of course, we are saying that what happened in 1966 is something that we are going to be very proud and happy about. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to make
you very much.
Some short statement, comments to the statement. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the first time is, let me remind you, tomorrow is the backbenchers' day. So rest for tomorrow. Tomorrow to do whatever you want to do. So let me invite the Minister for Foreign Affairs to comment on.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this solemn statement. The 24th of February 1966 coup, the first coup recorded in Ghana. And indeed, that is the coup that triggered a chain reaction of coups that this continent has ever seen, and indeed ranks very highly as one of the best leaders the whole world has ever known. Mr. Speaker, the maker of the statement, my good friend, the Honorable MP for Ho, the Honorable Edem Kotosu, has to be commended as a first-time member of Parliament for commemorating this day. And indeed, I would like to encourage him to institutionalize this commemoration so that every year we shall be remembered. All of us ought to remember that 24 February 1966 is Ghana's day of shame. It marks the darkest hour in the history of our country. By 24 February 1966, what Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had achieved in education, in energy, in infrastructure, indeed, the analysis has been done that a lot of the first world countries today, they were nowhere near Ghana in 1966. By the time Kwame Nkrumah commissioned our harbors, many European countries did not have the kind of harbor we had. By the time he commissioned the Tema motorway, many in cosmopolitan Europe were waiting to have a motorway of that nature. By the time the Akosombo Dam was commissioned, there were many, many countries in Europe, in the Americas, and in Africa who had absolutely no idea. They could not even conceptualize the vision, the technology that went into creating the world's biggest man-made lake at the time. The Akosombo Dam was not created by Nkrumah to power just Ghana, but it was to create electricity for the sub-region, and indeed to industrialize and create jobs for our people. So this is a man...
Minister, conclude for us.
This is a man who was ahead of his peers, and he has been vindicated when the international community was asked by the BBC at the beginning of the new millennium to vote for the man of the millennium. He competed with the likes of Nelson Mandela, with the likes of Julius Nyerere, with the likes of Sam Nujoma, with the likes of Fidel Castro, and yet the Osagefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah emerged as the African of the millennium. And Mr. Speaker, on this day, we should be reminded that those who staged that coup with their Western collaborators, the CIA declassified files, has settled this matter beyond doubt, that was not only a local orchestration, they had international support from those who thought that if they allowed Kwame Nkrumah to continue the way he was going. Indeed, when you read the ambassador at the time, Mahoney, as I conclude, in Mahoney's own words, he said that the kind of enlightenment that Kwame Nkrumah was bringing to the continent and liberating the minds of the African people, it will serve as a threat to the progress of their continent. And that is why they collaborated with feed columnists to mastermind that coup d'etat. But history has taught us that you can overthrow a government, you can kill a man, but you cannot kill his vision, you cannot kill his ideals, you cannot kill his legacy. And that is why even after his overthrow, he is the only man in global history who was asked to come and be president in another country. Can you imagine that?
Thank you, Minister.
Overthrown in Ghana, but he became the co-president in Guinea and was given a state funeral.
Thank you.
Nkrumah never dies. The legacy of Kwame Nkrumah will live on forever and ever and ever. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Now, leadership. I said 2-2, and we've done 2-2. So, okay, let me give you.
Honorable Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for your kindest indulgence for allowing me to contribute to the statement ably made by our colleague on the other side in commemorating Osagefo Kwame Nkrumah. Honorable Speaker, I think that we have to be very careful in this country. Nobody in this country, nor on this continent, can wish away the contributions of Kwame Nkrumah or better memory. Nobody. He did contribute his quota to the advancement of this country. Mr. Speaker, somebody said that if you could see far, you must thank those who helped you to see that far. Kwame Nkrumah rode on the back of individuals who saw that he could be an asset to the country. There were individuals who brought Kwame Nkrumah to the Gold Coast. When we are praising Kwame Nkrumah, what I don't want us to do as intellectuals and as members of parliament is that we don't have to belittle others in our quest to promote others. We must all applaud all those who helped to make this country what it is right now. Kwame Nkrumah played his roles, but others also played their roles. Let us not, through our politicking, undermine the efforts of others. That is wrong, and that will not help advance our democracy. We must stop that. We must stop this division that we are bringing in our politics and our country. It is not right. It is not right. We must stop that. Mr. Speaker, individual is perfect. No individual is perfect. All our leaders did some good, and there were some wrongs as well. But in all our doings, we are looking for the best that they did. And that should occupy our minds when we are making submissions. I will never, regardless of the mistakes or errors that Kwame Nkrumah made, to paint him black, I will never. Because he was a good man, and he did his best. The same thing applies to J.B. Dankwa and the others. And when you boldly say that Kwame Nkrumah is the founder of this country, I will contest you on that.
Thank you,
I won't
Professor
contest you on that,
Nyako.
but I will tell you that there were a lot of people who helped this country to obtain independence.
Thank you, Professor Nyako.
There were founders who built this country. Let us praise all of.
At least, listen to me. Professor Nyako, the time was close for you, but at least I stand. Yes, Honorable Hajia.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the statement made by my colleague on this very, very, very important subject of the coup d'etat of 24th February 1966. Mr. Speaker, many a Ghanaian have held the view that 1966, 24th February, was the day. 24th February. It's your birthday. Oh, I'll sing happy birthday to you when I'm done. Remind me. But please remember that you've taken part of my time.
I was born exactly the day Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown.
That's sad.
So.
That's sad. That's very sad.
Let's hear you.
So, Mr. Speaker, that day was a very, very sad day for humanity. And it was a sad day for humanity because Kwame Nkrumah's vision and influence transcended the borders of this country, transcended the borders of Africa, and it had impact to the Western world. But we woke up to that sad development.